It's Monday the 19th of August. It's about 5:30 in the morning. The sun's going to be up in about half an hour or so. I want to try and look for a roe buck this morning because we're a little bit behind on our cull for various different reasons, including the weather's been shocking at the sort of first half of the season, but also I've been away for a couple of weeks on holiday. So we're going to head down the back here, have a look on some sugar beet, and then work our way around into the wind up here, have a look on some stubble fields because pretty much all the wheat has been cut now. So yeah, hopefully when the sun comes up stuff will start to move around a little bit more. And we've just about got this super moon at the moment, which is a bit of a problem because obviously when you get a full moon, it's more likely that a lot of the deer feed through the night and then go back in early. So hopefully we'll see something and we won't draw a complete blank this morning. An old crow squawking away at us in those big old ancient oak trees. You get a lot of nests in there along with barn owls and other bits and bobs. So 150 metres through these trees in front of me there's a stubble field, and obviously between the gaps in the tree I can see quite a lot of the stubble already, so just looking with the binos, always looking into the far distance to see if there's any roe out there, you know, rather than just ambling along and going around the corner and bumping into them. It's always best to look as far in front as possible. Just got a red hind come across there. It's come out of the sugar beet field on the right of us. On the sugar beet. It's always the ones that you can't shoot that you see first and you see the most of. Couple of spikers in there as well. Those two spikers are in season from the 1st of August, but we really need to try and concentrate on these roe. And I've only got the 243 of me, which has got, you know, fairly light copper bullets. So it's not ideal for shooting those big reds. So it's their lucky morning, really. So we've had those few red deer out here on the sugar beet. Obviously this time of year when everything else is going brown, that sugar beet's quite a good crop for them. There's also a field of maize, the next field over behind you guys. And but the only problem with having all those reds on the field is they tend to bully everything else off it. So there's no obvious roe here. So we'll just crack on up the edge and keep going into this other area where I want to try and find a particular roebuck if he's hanging around. We've just worked our way all around the back here, heading over to these stubble fields over here. And there's a random car just driven up this avenue and just around the edge of the fields we were going to go and look on, so don't know who they are. Yeah, hopefully there's any deer out there. They haven't paid too much attention to them, but obviously it's not very reassuring. It's still early in the morning, but it's the joy of the south of England, I'm afraid. We'll just keep heading round. So one of the roebucks we're looking for yesterday evening when I had a drive round was just in this stubble field in the corner here. It's like penned in on two sides by these carbon trees. There's quite a lot of hedge and sort of margin around the edge of the field, so it could just be bedded down in there. And obviously we've got this house and these barns in front of us, which is where that car was going to. So we'll just sneak round slowly and just see if it's there. No sign of it in there, so we'll just head round the other side of these barns and have a look on another stubble field. It's very quiet. Keep trying. I've had a good look round the area out behind me. Obviously where was that roebuck I wanted to try and get, there's no sign of it at all, and there's a lot of maize out there and a lot of cover around the edges of the field, so I guess he just sat down somewhere. So we'll just cut through the top of the wood here, just have a look on a big stubble field the other side, just in case we get lucky out here. There's just nothing about on the road front this morning. Obviously we saw those reds first thing, but we haven't even seen any muntjac. I think we've seen one bum disappearing into some bracken. There's a few hares out in the fields and there's a few pheasant poults getting about now, but very quiet on the road front. So we'll just have to keep plodding on. We'll cut across this stubble field and go and have a look the other side of a sort of clump of trees over here. And then if all else fails and we get back to the vehicle, we might just drive to a couple of sugar beet fields, and just in case there's anything out on there that we can stalk into. Just stalk down the edge of this maze. We've got a roe doe just on our own, just at the other end of this field, about 300 metres away. And there's a Chinese water deer with two kids. They're just sort of slowly moving up towards us. So that's the first time we've seen kids on the estate, or the first time I've seen them anyway. So we'll probably have to start on them in this winter. because obviously with all the other species we've got, it's okay to have one or two, but we don't want to have them build up to huge numbers. They're now running up towards us because the shepherd's coming along down the track in his vehicle. You just pan round at him. So that's the two kids here, and then the mum's just coming up from behind now. Two kids have just run up into the maze here where we are. The mum's just sat down in the field, which is basically what the Chinese do. If you guys watch some of the films we've done out on the Broads, if they feel threatened or they think something's there, they just sit down flat on the ground and just watch from where they are. And those Chinese water deer, remember, they have multiple births. So when I've grallocked them in the past, we've seen sort of 4 or 5 in there. But I think on average they only usually get a couple off. But just no roebucks. Well, we've been out for 3 hours, done the best part of 4.5–5 mile route around some of the sort of most likely spots we've got, and obviously drawn a blank, which is a bit frustrating, but we're always pretty lucky on the videos, but maybe this time our luck's run out. It could have been that car that drove up there that put that one particular roebuck off, or it could have been the full moon last night that meant they've all gone back in early, but obviously those reds were out feeding anyway. Yeah, or it could have just been the fact that the rut's finished and all the roebucks are knackered and laying down, but it's not too late yet. The sun's not very strong because it's a bit hazy, so I think what we'll do is jump in the vehicle, just drive around a couple of sugar beet fields, just have a look from the edge, see if there's anything out there that we can stalk into, and if we don't have any luck there, then we'll have to make a plan C or D. Well, it's just not our morning this morning. We drove into the stubble field behind the camera, and from the far end, sort of 200 metres away, we could see this little roebuck, which we were looking for this morning. It's just got 2 little inch-long spikes, and he was just ambling down the track and then came into the field here. So we obviously stopped and jumped out and stalked down fairly quickly. And when we got into this field, he was just on the edge here. I got the gun up, but we couldn't shoot where he was anyway because there's a house in the background, and also it was standing sort of straight bum onto me, so really just got on the sticks in case it came down to the right and gave us a safe shot. But by that time we were so close to it, he turned around and he knew we were there straight away, so he went down into this little pit here, and I've just had a walk around the outside of that, and he's either tucked up in there very tight or he's run out the back without us noticing. So that's annoying. Yeah, so we'll stomp back to the vehicle. At least if he was out and about, something else might be moving somewhere, so we'll just drive around to these other fields and have a look. We've got a, looks like a roebuck and a doe and a kid, far end of this field. They've just gone behind this stack of bales from our point of view at the moment. Yeah, the wind's okay. We've got a road behind us, so we'll just stick our head round the corner. We might have to go down the hedge a bit or just go straight towards them. So we've got the doe and the kid on the left and the roebuck on the right. He's just tailing them around. We're about 300 metres away, so if we can get, you know, within 200 metres, we'll be okay for a shot. They can't go in the wood behind because it's all fenced off. Just creep around the back of these bales, and then I think we're just going to have to head straight towards them. Go on, mate. Okay. Just keep right in behind, mate. You're going to have to film like over my shoulder, yeah? You want him, mate? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Great. So we got about 195 metres in the end, and the doe and kid were actually a little bit further away, but the buck looked like he was getting a bit twitchy, so we might have been able to get a little bit closer, but I just thought, sod it, it's getting on now, and we're trying to make sure we get something in the larder. So yeah, looks to have gone down all right. Let's give it a few minutes, then we'll walk over and have a look. Yeah, so we've got some good blood here. I can see it laid in the field there, 30 metres further on, but it's probably run about 50-60 metres in total. So yeah, good heart blood here. There we go. Yeah, good one to take out actually. Sort of young 3-year-old probably. It's got 2 spikes on one side, 1 on the other, so a good uneven cull buck. He's obviously done a bit of rutting already. You can see on his coat here where it's a bit sort of sweaty and wavy, and then he's lost a little bit of condition off his back. Yeah, nice little carcass. A few flies floating about, and it's 9:30 now, so we'll go grab the vehicle, get this one picked straight up and back to the larder, get it sorted out. So yeah, there we go. That's another one done and dusted. We really hoped today we were going to get one quite early, and we were going to do the gralloch on it, a suspended gralloch, and then skin it back in the larder. But unfortunately, we just didn't have the luck early on. And as you guys know, time's run on and it's got away from us, and I just don't have time to do it today with other stuff I've got to do on the estate later on. So we will get round to that 100%. In the next few episodes, so please keep watching for that, and we'll try and do some butchery as well at some point as we go into the winter. So next month will be September, and the plan is to do red deer, so we'll be looking for young red stags, so a spiker or a 2 or 3 year old cull stag. So we'll see how we get on with that. And then as we go through the winter, we can look at the other species we've got on the estate as well. But yeah, please keep any questions, comments, feedback, and obviously like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.